Along with cost sheet, while doing problem, we will understand concepts also. If you find the word called direct, always goes to where? Prime cost. If you are calculating selling and distribution, we should go for 1 ratio. Finished goods comes under office. This is always you are supposed to remember. Hello everyone, this is your Adarsh sir, lecturer in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the session 7 of your topic called accounting. In accounting, we are doing cost sheet. Now, under cost sheet, almost we have done with many problems, but we have not done problem on cost per unit. And as well as there are many adjustments are there under your cost sheet. The few of the adjustments we have covered, but the few adjustments we are yet to cover. In today's session, we will cover those kind of adjustments. Now, the agenda for the day, it is very simple. As you know, the problems on cost sheet. Along with cost sheet, while doing problem, we will understand concepts also. Now, this will be your question. This is your problem number 4. We have completed 3 problems and we are doing problem number 4. These are the informations we have. What is our first job? Our first work will be classification. We are supposed to classify which comes under prime cost, which comes under factory, office, as well as selling and distribution overhead. Now, as per this, raw material, there is a opening and closing. Remember, raw material comes under prime cost. Then, work in progress comes under factory. Finished goods comes under office. This is always you are supposed to remember. Why? Because in the question paper, if you get these things, never commit mistake. Remember, raw material always for prime, work in progress for finished, factory, finished goods for office. Now, purchase of direct wages, prime cost. If you find the word called direct, always goes to where? Prime cost. Then direct expenses, prime cost. Indirect wages comes under factory. All the direct wages goes to prime cost. Indirect comes under factory. Then freight for purchase of material. Freight for purchase of material. Now, this will be what? Freight for purchase of material, it is nothing but your carriage inward. So, it will go to where? Prime cost. Then sales commission, selling and distribution. Selling expenses, selling and distribution, easy to remember. Wherever you have selling related expenses, we have to write it under selling and distribution. Now, traveling expenses of salesman comes under where? It comes under selling and distribution. Foreman salary. Who is foreman? Foreman, we call it as supervisor. Now, there is a particular unit is there, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. For that particular junction, a group of people, one head will be there, one supervisor will be there. For them, we call it as foreman salary. Now, so foreman salary comes under factory. Repairs to plant. Where do you keep your plant? We keep it in the factory. So, plant means what? The place where you keep your machinery. So, plant comes under factory. Next, power, factory. Electricity, office. Why do we classify power as a factory, electricity as office? Why? Because power means to run a machine, we need huge your power requirement. Power requirement is higher. Your electricity is always less. Just to run your computer, light, fan and all, we use electricity. Power means we need huge power supply for you to run a machine. Next, rent, office. Have they mentioned rent for which? No. Then we have to go for adjustment. As per the adjustment, rent and electricity are to be shared in the ratio of 2:2:1. Rent and electricity we have to bifurcate. Like your rent, what we are supposed to do? 1, 2, 3. Now, what is the rent value? The rent value they have given almost 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4,000 they have given rent. What is the value? 2 is to 2 is to 1. Now, you have 4,000 multiplied by 2 divided by 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. Similarly, 4,000 multiplied with 2 by 5. 4,000 multiplied with 1 divided by 5. Like this, you are supposed to calculate. Then, salary to office staff, directly we take it in office. Even rent also same thing we have to do. Then, stationery purchased office, traveling allowance to office manager office. Sales, we know that we take the final value. Sales, it is nothing but your final value, that is 3,40,000. Hope you understood up to this, and prepare cost sheet and find out the costing profit. These are the informations we have. We'll go for prime cost, then we'll go for factory, office, and finally we'll go for your selling and distribution. Now, what is the first one? Like your direct opening stock plus purchases, add your freight charges minus closing. Remember, freight, it is nothing but carriage inward. Carriage inward means what? Transportation. Freight means what? Transportation. Any freight for the reason of purchases, we call it as carriage inward. The same freight charges for the reason of your sales, we call it as carriage outward. Any carriage outward comes under where? Selling and distribution. Carriage inward comes where? It comes under your purchases as prime cost. Now, up to this we have done direct wages over, direct expense over, all put together we call it as prime cost. I am not taking much time because you know all this, just I am explaining so that you should remember these things. Now, up to prime cost, any doubt? No doubt. Now, so up to prime cost we completed. We'll go for your factory overhead. Now, under factory overhead, we have indirect wages, foreman salary. As I told you, your foreman salary comes under factory. Then, your repair to plant, power. Power charges, huge consumption it requires to run a machine. So, that's why power comes under factory. Now, electricity, they have divided 1,600 for factory 2, office 2, and for your selling and distribution 1. We are doing which one? Factory. Factory, how much we'll consider? We will consider 2. Now, 1,600 into 2 by 5, rent 4,000 into 2 by 5. If you do this calculation, you will get around, this is 640 and 1,600. These two are your calculations. These two are your calculation. Now, once you're done with this, as I told you, your work in progress comes under what? Factory overhead. Now, add your opening stock of work in progress minus closing stock of work in progress. Now, we added opening stock, we deducted closing stock. What is your final answer? 1,98,840. This is what we call it as your factory cost, or else we can call it as work cost. Hope you understood. Yes, up to this we call it as factory or work cost. Even though you know the concept, we are doing same kind of problem many. Why? Because if you do the repetition, it will be easy for you and it will be familiar for you. Now, up to this we have completed. The next part will be your second part, that is your office. Now, under office we have electricity, rent, salary, stationery, traveling allowance to office manager. These are we have mentioned in the question. I'll show you. See, finished goods, opening and closing. Then we have taken your electricity, rent, salary, stationery, traveling allowance to the manager. Same thing we have copied in the answer also. See, add everything, you will get cost of production. We have not added the opening stock of work in progress minus closing stock of work in progress. We'll take that also. See, opening stock of finished goods, not work in progress. Work in progress comes under factory. Now, opening stock of finished goods minus closing stock of finished goods, you got cost of goods sold. Any doubt up to this? Up to this, there is no doubt. You got cost of goods sold 2,20,280. Now, up to this we completed. Then we'll move to next one. Selling and distribution expenses. Under selling and distribution, again I'll go back. As per the question, do we have any selling and distribution? In the first sheet, yes, we have sales commission, we have selling expenses. We have two things. In this, yes, we have traveling expense of salesman, third one, electricity, fourth one, rent, fifth one. So total we have 5 things under selling and distribution. Now, sales commission 1, selling expenses 2, traveling expenses 3, electricity 4, and rent we have 5. How many items we have? Total we have 5 items. Is it easy or very easy? Very easy. Why? Because just you have to read out the question. From the question we have to pick and we have to classify which is prime, which is factory, which is office, which is selling and distribution. Just you have to bifurcate. No more calculation, no formula, nothing. Just you have to bifurcate and you have to write. By mistake, you have done any one. 8,000 instead of office. Instead of selling, you have written in office. Your marks will be deducted only for this 8,000. Rest of the things are correct. You will be awarded marks for rest of the correct answers. Now, up to this we completed. So, as per 1 by 5, 1 by 5. Why it is 1 by 5? We had 2:2:1. So, we are doing which one? This is for factory, this is for office, and this is for selling and distribution. Now, as per this, we are calculating which one? Your selling and distribution overhead. Now, if you are calculating selling and distribution, we should go for 1 ratio. Now, that's why we calculated 1 by 5 and 1 by 5. Why it is 5? 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So, it must be 1 by 5. Your 16,000 into 1 by 5 and 4,000 into 1 by 5. So, it is not 16,000 actually, it is 1,600. I'll go back to your question. So, what is your electricity? Your electricity is 1,600. So, just you have to make a correction. So, how much is your electricity? Your electricity is only 1,600 multiplied by 1 by 5, 4,000 into 1 by 5. These are the calculation. You got these answer. If you add 31 to 120, you got 2,51,400. Now, the calculation is, the sales value. Where the sale value is given, I'll go back to your question. Your sale value is given in the question. See, your selling price is 3,40,000. Now, your selling price is 3,40,000 minus your cost. What is the formula? You know the formula. How to find out profit? Profit is equal to sales minus cost. Profit is equal to sales minus cost. What is your sales? As per this, your sales is 3,40,000. Now, 3,40,000 minus, what is your cost? 2,51,400. 2,51,400. From 3,40,000, if you minus 2,51,400, you will get 88,600. 88,600 is your profit. Remember, this profit is your balancing figure. What is this profit? This profit is your balancing figure. Hope you understood up to this. Now, we have some note for this. The note, it is nothing but we already calculated. See, the factory rent is classified. We already calculated electricity amount factory. This we know 2:2:1. This is only your note. You have to mention. Now I'll go back to your question along with answer so that you can take screenshot. So this is your problem number 4. Continuation of your problem number 4. This is your solution part first up to prime cost. Your solution up to factory cost, solution up to cost of production, solution up to your final thing, that is sales. There is a working note for your rent as well as electricity calculation. In the next session, we'll work out 1 or 2 problems, that is cost per unit problems. Thank you.